Hi guys, welcome back to Codemaster Coach, your medical coding tutor. Guys, I'm often asked, do I see a future in medical coding? What's going to happen with medical coding in the future? And I say, I honestly believe medical coding is going to be around for a while. And I know we've got all of this artificial intelligence, AI, this computer-assisted coding, they call it CAC, all of these different software out here that assist with coding. But I honestly believe coding will be here for a little while longer. I know I've been in coding since 1988. And since that time, I can remember in 2013 when working with actual computer-assisted coding software. But even with CAC, computer-assisted coding, I still needed my coders to do the coding. CAC assists with the coding. If you type in pneumonia, it'll snatch it and give you the code for pneumonia. But what if you have double pneumonia, migratory pneumonia, or a specific type? You have to then key that in as well. So I still believe that there's some human touches that need to be done with medical coding. And I think back to medical transcription. With being the director of HIM, I had medical transcriptionists working with me in my department. And we called it the Gator, which was the voice recognition software. I was in the era when the physicians used to dictate in little micro cassette recorders, or they had designated dictation phones throughout the hospital, or a number that they could call in and dictate their reports. Now with the electronic medical record, the physician can speak right into a software. It will transcribe the report and put it right in the medical record, which is good. And it did do away with a lot of medical transcription jobs. But we still have medical transcriptionists on board that have to audit these reports that are generated by this electronic voice recognition software. We still need transcriptionists to audit it. So we might not have as many medical transcriptionists today as we had in the past. But with coding, when they dictate a report, the diagnoses that the physician states, the computer-assisted software is wanting to grab those diagnoses and code them. And so having to tie in the guidelines, what's the appropriate way to go, is so much harder for the CAC. And it takes an actual trained coder to do. So I always tell my coders, right now, there's a need. Coders are going to have to be here. Even if we're going to have to be here to audit the coding that the CAC or this artificial intelligence might generate, we're still going to need coders to audit it. And with the move to the electronic medical record, it is moving, and it's going to help, but I still think that human touch is going to have to still be there. Coders are going to still need to code. They're going to have to work with the coding edits. They're going to have to work with the coding denials. They're going to have to appeal the denials. We're going to have to be looking at clinical documentation improvement, because remember, we're the specialists when it comes to assigning or making sure we get reimbursed for services based on the codes and even the technology. We can actually go into this AI or CAC avenues to help with artificial intelligence for medical coding or computer-assisted coding. We can jump on that bandwagon if we're into computers and IT or information technology type studies. So I always tell my students, devote time each week to make sure you stay abreast of what's going on in the world of medical coding. So as it grows, you grow with it. Don't get left behind, because there's always going to be an avenue for something for coders to do, whether it is as auditing or denials, whatever it is. Work with your profession. Stay with it. Be an expert in the business and the industry, and solve your employer. If you see challenges even today with AI or CAC, jump in, work with those challenges, solve the problem, create jobs for yourself. Embrace technology, learn to work with it. You can fight it all you want. You better jump on the bandwagon and work with it. And then grow your network. Stay in growth sectors such as healthcare forums or medical coding forums to know what's going on in your communities. And then be prepared to go solo. With everything that's going on, I always say medical coders, you could go into physicians' offices, talk to the physician, and create your avenue to do your coding. But main thing here is you're going to have to level up, stack your skills, and become as knowledgeable as whatever is going on in industry in the medical coding profession. And right now I do see a lot of IT type functions going on with medical coding. One big thing I always push is like with our certification exams, they're based on hard copy books. If this electronic health record or the computer assisted coding goes down, you can always fall back to your code books and use them. So don't let that skill of using your actual hard copy book get away from you in the era of all of this artificial intelligence that's going on. Stay in your books. Stay familiar with your books so that when it goes down, you're still ready to run. You can still do the coding. So again, learn those code books, and my students will tell you, Coach says, love your code book and it will love you back. If you put in the time to study your books, stay with your communities, know what's going on with artificial intelligence and computer-assisted coding and the technology that's out there to assist you. If you can stay current, it won't bypass you. It won't. You'll learn those challenges, you'll dive in, and you'll become the expert. So stay in it, stay current, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks. Don't forget to subscribe.